We see Canadians feeling the same way they did back in April, which is essentially this isn't over and it's going to get worse.
A new survey from Research Co. shows 2/3 of Canadians aren't feeling optimistic about things getting any better with the COVID-19 pandemic. And with the holidays approaching, whatever hope there was is fading.
There was an expectation that everything would be over before the holiday season, and it's clearly not going to be that way.
The prospect of a quiet Christmas, enough to put a damper on Canadian spirits. This comes as the same survey shows overwhelming support for government restrictions on COVID-19. 90% of respondents say they support indoor mandatory mask orders.
Back in April, we only had 14% of Canadians who said, if I'm out, I'm wearing a mask. And I think that has a lot to do with the confusion that we heard from several health authorities that were saying at the start, this doesn't really matter. We see that there's a lot of Canadians who want to do this, but there's always going to be that 10, 11, 15% who don't believe in it, and that is definitely problematic.
With pandemic fear at an all-time high, the same survey spells trouble for Alberta Premier Jason Kenney, with only 46% of respondents saying they're satisfied with his handling of the pandemic. Conseco says the recent U.S. election is a warning to Premier Kenney.
People were definitely not satisfied with Donald Trump, and he ends up losing. So unless they are able to contain this and to bring these numbers back, this is going to be very problematic.
The province's response to the pandemic already setting the stage for a contentious 2023 election.
Because you no longer have the moral high ground of people being satisfied with your pandemic handling because you're at the lowest point in the entire country.
In Edmonton, Darcy Ropchan, City News.